One of my top priorities here in the Senate is making government work better. A major way to do that is to block burdensome regulations that don't work for Nebraska. This administration has proposed hundreds of one-size-fits-all rules that will disproportionately impact rural Nebraskans. One recent example of this is the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services rule mandating new minimum staffing standards for long-term care facilities. Look, we all want to make sure our seniors have the best standard of care. But this one-size-fits-all mandates actually does the opposite of that. Instead of helping Nebraska seniors, this rule would cause closures of numerous facilities across our state. It would limit access to critical care for Nebraska seniors. That's wrong. As a member of the Special Committee on Aging, I will do everything in my power to stop this burdensome federal rule from going into place and closing our long-term care facilities. That's why I'm co-leading Senator Fisher's Protecting Rural Seniors Access to Care Act, which would roll back this rule. I also support the Congressional Review Act legislation to block it. Nationally, the long-term care industry faces historic staffing shortages. Those shortages are particularly acute in rural areas, and they're forecasted to only get worse. In Nebraska, 80% of counties have lower per capita numbers of registered nurses and licensed practical nurses. That's lower than the national average, that is. 9 Nebraska counties have no practicing registered nurses at all. According to CMS, 75% of nursing homes would have to increase staffing to comply with these standards. A nationwide study from the American Health Care Association shows nursing homes would need to hire more than 100,000 additional nurses and nurse aides. Where are they going to come from? That has an estimated cost of $6.8 billion. $6.8 billion. Remember, we already have a historic staffing shortage. This administration's one-size-fits-all rule would turn the current shortage into a crisis. It would clearly hurt residents in smaller rural communities. While there is an implementation period on the rule, many nursing homes across Nebraska have already been trying to identify alternatives to providing nursing home care due to this rule. Put plainly, that means nursing home care in Nebraska will decrease because of this rule, not increase. That means closures. That's wrong. I'm going to continue to stand up for our seniors. These delusional requirements that somehow we're going to find all these new nurses when we're already short, that are going to be able to be hired in our long-term care facilities is just absolutely crazy.